Hello Marvel Heroes fans, with me here is my wife Cup playing Hulk. And but first of all, thank you for all the messages from the game forum as well as the YouTube. Those are very good kind words that you have for me, and I enjoy reading that. I enjoy reaching out to new friends as well. Main reason why I'm doing all this video is to make friends and share experience both way. All right. But sometimes when you try to get me, I'm not responding to you, most likely because my chat is closed like now because I need to make a video. But I mean, or when I toggle out to the desktop and do some number crafting and so on. So yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to play with my wife, Cup, playing Hulk, and I'm heading to the boss side. All right. And okay, so what is this video about, right? This video is about dealing with Cosmic Patrol. Now, Cosmic Patrol has been out for a while. I think when it was first out, it was a lot of shock to the whole game, because it's a lot harder, and some hero doesn't seem to be doing as well as others as well. I think a lot of time we sort of like getting a little bit disheartened because whatever build, whatever we have thing that has been working so far, it's just not working, and I can understand because I felt the frustration too. I did sort of like feedback to the forum about how hard it is for melee and so on. Now, but when it comes to this game, you have two options, right? You can either you give up and say, okay, fine, I fed up with it and it's not something that I enjoy playing, or B, you could adapt and adopt. Now, what I mean by that is that you adapt to the new challenge and you adopt a different strategy to make it work for you. All right. So what it also means is that, okay, so this video is about how I approach it when it comes to playing this kind of like content, and I'm going to go back to all the heroes one by one to see that how to make it work for all the heroes that I have, because my goal is to I want to believe that all hero is able to enjoy the cosmic terminal, cosmic patrol. All right, so that's my belief, and sometimes we have to adjust to it. Like I say, we adapt to the challenge, and we adopt a new strategy to it. All right, so I've got a whole list of as always, I've got a whole list of points to share, and it's all written down somewhere in the card here. So I'm hoping to be able to read it out while I'm playing this game as well. And just for as a living example is that melee has been pretty hard. And when my wife first played melee Hulk in this Cosmic Patrol, she didn't do too well. All right, and I talked to her and I sort of like share with her that what she could do to make it easier playing Hulk. And look at her. I mean, she's doing all right from adapting to the whole challenging environment. I hope that I'm sharing these tips to you that you can do better as well. All right. So the first question that the first thing you really need to hang on. The first thing you really need to think about is that why some heroes are doing much better than the others. Now, normally when you play a summoner, not all summoner by the way, I mean you play a summoner on this single boss scenario, usually is much better. And let me just get out. Usually it's much better when it comes to this kind of like scenario as a summoner. All right. And but not all summoners are that. So I'll just read it out. What are the summoner to look out for if you would like an easier life, just to start yourself off in a Cosmic Patrol environment, right, without getting too disheartened by the whole thing. But I mean, so the first one that in my list, as always, is Iceman, because Iceman has a very nice DPS as well as the pets can tank really well and very strong, and Ice Block is something that he can drop off from all the aggro and replenish health and spirit, and also on top of that, if he does get defeated, I think he has like a resurrection there for I think every 4 minutes, if I'm not wrong, to be able to resurrect. So he is pretty strong when it comes to this kind of content. But but I mean that's one consideration if you like to pick a hero that has an easier life when it comes to Cosmic Patrol. Another heroes that I have in mind is that I think there are other summoners as well that are doing pretty okay. Let me get to the other boss. Now it's boss rushing. There are other heroes that are doing pretty alright. There are Rocket Raccoon as a summoner is doing pretty okay. And also, if you look at Loki, Loki is doing pretty alright as well. If you are just a little bit careful, because Loki is the span that I have chosen is actually quite near to the to all the boss and stuff that that happens. Unlike Rocket Raccoon, whereby you could just stay back in the distance and do your stuff. His or her single spender actually quite near. So now it's just me and my wife dealing with Black Cat. Sorry, getting distracted. So I mean, Loki and Rocket Raccoon, by and large, they're pretty strong summoner to be in. All right. So okay, I need to look at the screen while I'm trying not to die here. While I need to look at my cheat sheet as well. Hang on. So that is one, and also I find that Doctor Strange is doing very well in the summon in this kind of situation, because Doctor Strange with the image of Icon, they are doing pretty well as well. All right. So that is something that you could also think about. All right. And as always, any heroes that has a stealth component to it. All right. Any hero that has stealth, any heroes that is range. For instance, like Winter Soldier, like Black Widow, those are doing pretty well as well. Now, of course, I haven't talked too much about Emma Frost. I think Emma Frost is doing pretty well as well, because the pack can taunt quite a fair bit. The only thing is that Emma Frost doesn't have a stealth or invisible kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, these are things that I'd like to try, but also would like to just share with you, I mean, some of the heroes that are doing pretty well when it comes to facing the single boss situation. But however, Cosmic Patrol is about team play, I believe. A lot of time is this sort of situation that matter, because you could have a hero that solo solo the situation here like this, but I mean, it's very hard for any hero, even the one that I talk about, the solo boss wave. I mean, you do have to have a whole bunch of friends and heroes to do it, right? So I mean, just want to at least give you some perspective when it comes to what to expect when you feel that your hero is not doing as well as what you wish to be. Bear in mind that it is a very much teamwork when it comes to kind of like Cosmic Patrol. Everybody brings something onto the table, all right? So everybody contributes. So don't get disheartened if you are playing a hero that is not on the list that I talked about. The one that I talk about is really about having a very easy life in a Cosmic Patrol environment. But by and large, I mean, sometimes when you play this game, not necessarily. It depends on that, because you do want to pick a hero that you enjoy playing instead, all right? So now I get the whole meat of it. Now, the first thing you need to really ask yourself is that is my hero dying a lot in this Cosmic Patrol? Because that is a very soul-searching question, right? If you by right, you shouldn't die at all in a Cosmic Patrol. Sometimes you may have a mistake, couldn't see something coming, that's fine, you can respond. But you should, the number one criteria to yourself is that no one should die in this kind of situation, right? You should stay on alive, because a dead hero is not doing any DPS at all. So that is the number one criteria. When you feel that you are dying in this kind of Cosmic Patrol kind of situation, then you have to be face yourself, right? I mean, is it because the hero is too weak, or is it because you are not unlocking the full potential of the hero in this sort of environment? Again, it's the whole adapt to the challenge and adopt a strategy that works, right? So the first thing, I mean, ask yourself, if you are not dying a lot, like when I play Iceman, I'm not really dying a lot, so there's nothing I need to do. I mean, I just play as per normal, right? But if you're dying a lot, then there are things that you can do, and here are some of the tips coming along. that I'm hoping to share with you when it comes to Cosmic Patrol. All right. So the first thing is that you probably need to have more kiting in terms of the gameplay style. It is not the same anymore. You can't just sit back like you can't just like sit back and hope that you'll be all right and think that you can just face tank the boss. You can't. You have to run away from situation, whether you're melee or range, doesn't matter. All right. So you have to avoid all this like stuff that's going on. You have to kill off the one that you have to neutralize any threat that you have here. Like for instance, Santino. I mean, those hit pretty hard to everybody, right? So you have to do all these things. And if you see that some of these like Arsino kind of like small mobs that have a lot of fire that ditched on the ground, you have to avoid those. I mean, these are the very standard things that you should first of all understand what is hurting you. That is very important. Just to be aware what is hurting you and neutralize. So like those guys here, they throw fire and you die very fast when you stand on those fire. So you have to kill them ASAP. All right. So okay, assuming that you sort of like you do your kiting, you understand what is the threat, and so on. But you're still dying. You're still not having a good time in a Cosmic Patrol scenario. What should you do next? The next thing you should do is to go to extreme. Something that something that I'm very sure when you do it is a very high possibility you will succeed is to roll the Cosmic affix on health. So for me, I actually have two costumes. All right. So one is the so-called one is the crit damage rating. The other one is health. Now, how much health are we talking about? Yeah, at the max value, we are talking about 5,000 health difference. All right, and the 5,000 health is going to buy you a lot of like leeway when it comes to all these things that you may just miss or whatnot. So now, but of course, when you do health, you sacrifice something. All right, you sacrifice on DPS. You sacrifice round about for Loki for this one I'm having. I sacrifice about at least 10% of the damage from my hero. But think about it. If you spend too much time kiting, if you spend too much time not doing too much damage, because you are dead or because of for whatever the reason, it's not worth it anyway, right? So you have to think about all this so-called dying is going to hurt you in the long run anyway, and you have to be able to sustain that kind of damage in order to thrive in this type of environment. So ask you one thing. A dead hero will not be dealing any damage at all. So even if you have to sacrifice 10% DPS, even if you sacrifice that, I would say just go for it first. All right, and then as you get more proficient more comfortable in the build and your hero and so on, then you can take it off. Like for my Loki, I'm now using the health. I'm now using the health costume, but I do have one that is for crit damage rating, right? So normally I do a crit damage rating, but because I'm making a video and I need to focus on both, so usually I can't, so I make mistake, and I don't want to keep dying in this video. So so do a health one is important. Always, all right, and that is one of the extreme there that you should just immediately see a big result like Hulk as well. If you are melee, I would say just do it. Just get the health affix. So it would mean that you need two costumes. And I know it costs a bit. If you want a free kind of like way to do it, just prestige your hero once. All right, prestige your hero once, you get another free costume anyway. So so you don't have to spend a single dime if you want to want to have a second costume, because you want one DPS and one more for defense. You could do that. All right, so yeah, so have a second costume. In situation like that, sometimes not dying is really fun, and trust me on that. And you will see a lot of difference when you get more health to it. Like I have 26, close to 27,000 health, but you still need to avoid all this nonsense, of course. I mean, you can't be too reckless, but at least it buys you some moment whereby, you know, if you keep dying and so on, all right. So that is one, all right. So another one is that you may consider. Okay, now now I have to find an entry point that is not in the midst of all this stuff. So this is a man ape. So so another way is the omega point. I'm going to probably pause towards the end of the video to show you what I'm talking about. But there are a few notes that is very good to have. One is a blob note. The blob is I think 15 points per note that gives you quite a fair bit of like defense stats. And I would strongly recommend to invest if you have enough omega point, invest all into it, because there's no cost escalation to the whole thing. So you know, totally worth it. And that costs about you get about 300 and you spend about 350 points, but you get about 750 health, and that's quite a fair bit of health that we are talking about here. So I would strongly recommend it. If you have the spare omega point, do it. You know, all right. Another note that I enjoy having is the Forever compound, as well as the serum S20 SO2. All right. But one is for the health, and the other one is for health regen. I don't really, you know, I don't really put in a lot of points to it. I obey my own 80% cost escalation as per other video I have. I put like 3.6 point, I think 3.6 point to it, and just to get a taste of that. And I think all in all, I spent about 516 omega point just to get a decent amount of defense. Now this wave is very hard when it comes to Magneto. You know, sometimes just clear some of this mob and trash and so on, wait for the rest of the hero to arrive. It helps when you have a lot of people splitting the boss up, right? So Pyro, everybody, this one is very, very hard. You have to have a lot of focus when you play this one. You can't really just go in and do it, all right? So sometimes it's about perseverance. You still can win without having to like, see, it hits very hard. So you have to know what your gameplay is, right? So Toad is there, so I have to find a nice spot to. I think I'm just circulating the whole thing. A block also very hard. All this also very hard. So I need to come out. So it's about pacing out the whole thing. A man ape is there as well. So this is one of the hardest content. Hang on, yeah. So yeah, I mean, omega point is important, right? I'm trying to, actually, it's very hard to talk about this while I'm facing the hardest content right now here, when you have man ape and everybody else doing all this stuff going on. Okay, one down. Okay, get out. Let's clear all these things. All right. Okay, let me just allow me to focus a bit first. Okay, so just to recap, I've mentioned about the omega. Okay, another one is that this one is pretty easy. The idea is very simple. The idea is that you have, you know, besides the health affixes on your costume, you could actually roll those like 20%, 25% med health on med hit up to like, I think a certain amount. That is, let me see, what's the amount? Up to say 3,000 and whatnot. So those are very useful, and I hope you have those as well. More so for the health than the spirit. All right. So yeah. So that is one. Another one is that you can enchant your slot 2, 3, 4. You need to have the extra 200 health each. So that is yet another. It requires cattle rune, but that's fine. That is yet another 600 health there. So everything adds up to be quite a fair bit if you get the game right. All right. So now it's towards the end. We are winning as a team, and it's wonderful. I mean, it feels really good when you do it right here. When you approach it in the right way, not just recklessly, die to it and so on. So I mean, that is something is important to stay alive, and do your best to just stay alive and yeah, I mean, it is very rewarding when the fight was one of the hardest and you make it there, all right? So yeah, so that is the enchanting of the health and so on. So that's very useful. Story mode, I have a video on that. That one gives you another 375 health. So make sure you have it, all right? Make sure you have it done, all right? All right, Magneto, get out, very important. No point to get die in his storm of whatever. Okay, Mane is dead. All right. Okay, let me loot first. It seems like I mean, when the group does it right, this is really, really great stuff. Let me just save this guy. All right. Okay. Talk about story mode. Okay. Now the most important thing out of all my tips here, the most important thing is to adjust your build. What do I mean by that? Sometimes when you build your hero, we always build for DPS. I do always build for DPS. I think everybody do because prior to this cosmic patrol, there isn't any challenge that require me to do otherwise. All right. But now that we have this cosmic patrol, we have to rethink the build. Now, the good thing is that we can have dual spec for free. So you can have one spec that's main, and then after that you can use a dual spec to spec something that is defensive. I can't give you I can't really give you a so-called I can only give you an approach when it comes to changing your build, but I will do it for every hero from now onwards. So in my videos, I would take care of another build that is more for defense and let you survive better in this kind of scenario. All right. So when it comes to a second build, which is on defense, the first thing that you need to think about is if you have passive stats. Those passive that you probably say, yeah, it doesn't scale well and so on, forget it. I mean, forget what I've said about that because that's mainly for DPS. And, max out. If you feel that you need the extra health, max it out, all right? If you give you kind of like passive to do things, max it out. Have another one. Now, if you are playing a melee hero, all right? And if your melee hero have some option for you to deal damage from a distance, so for instance, Hulk is example. Hulk has one power can throw a piece of cement or whatever it is to the mob to buff one of his last three. That is one good option to have. And then Hulk also have one that you can attack from a distance. You just smash the ground, send a shockwave in front. I mean, those are good stuff that you have. So, for instance, if you have a lot of crazy things going on near the boss and you can't get in and you can't deal any damage, so what do? What you do is that you make sure that what you do is you make sure you can still continue to apply DPS, although it may not be as optimal as you wish to be. All right. So that is one thing. That's one example of changing your build. Another one is that you may have some depending on the hero, right? So some hero may have some opportunity for you to invest points in crowd control, anything to actually control the crowd a little better. Those I find it very useful as well. Anything that can go invisible and so on. I mean, those are very, very interesting. I mean, very, very important to have as well. So I would certainly advise you to pick a build that gives you the best chance when it comes to. Do I have something here? A best chance when it comes to dealing with hard contents like this. All right. So I talk about. Is there anything I'd like to talk about the build? I think I'm almost there in terms of build. Let me just right? This is one of the waves that as a low key I won't die to doing ultimate, because for other boss wave I probably would die doing ultimate here. So yeah, I mean Loki doesn't really have one of the best ultimate here. All right, I think that is what I'd like to cover so far. I mean, yeah. So I think I'll just go back to the hub and just talk a little bit about where I got the Omega from. But that's all the tips I'd like to share with you. I really hope that you too can find some enjoyment. I mean, although it is very challenging, but I do hope that you do find it, ways to make your hero stronger. And I mean, I really would like to try to make all my heroes being able to do cosmic patrol, and I mean, but it takes time for me to do that. So I thought I'd make a video to tell you my approach, how I'm going to deal with it, and you may do something similar for your hero. So let me come back to safety, and now we can talk a bit more. What I mean is that when I get to another costume, for instance, then my health dropped to 21k. I mean, it's still doable in this kind of environment, but I do feel sometimes a little bit hard to manage. All right. The Omega point I'll talk about for defense is this one. All right. Is the one about this one blob is to give you a very nice for 25, which is let me just recap, 350 points. You can get very nice a lot of very nice defense stat there. Those are good stuff. All right. Another one that I talk about is the this one here, the Forever Compound. Give you a kind of a health regen to it, and also a certain amount of health to it. You could of course max it, but I feel that you're paying quite a fair bit if you max it. But if you, I don't think you need to max it really. But if you're really desperate and you want to go all out, meaning after all my advice is still not working, then you could try this, but it's not something I would suppose you require to, because it does cost quite a fair bit of Omega points. So you still want your hero to play other content rather than cosmic patrol, but the choice is totally yours. All right. So I think just to round up this whole video and put it back to my favorite costume that I crafted, by the way, and I like to see, like isn't her wonderful? So just to summarize the whole thing, so the most important thing for you to have fun in Cosmic Patrol is to adapt and adopt. All right, so adapt to a challenging environment and adopt a strategy that will help you conquer that kind of challenge. All right. So the second thing you need to do is to evaluate where you are right now with your hero, and just do some soul searching. Are you dying a lot? If it is, do something about it. Number 3, change the way that you play the game. Right. You have to kite a bit more. You are aware of what is around. What are the mobs that are killing you? Eliminate them fast. If you have like a few bosses going around, focus on some of these bosses that's going to die soon, and just apply the usual MMO kind of approach. Eliminate threats ASAP one by one, so that you take lesser damage as a team. All right. So number 4 is to roll the health affixes, like what I've done for Loki, and have 2 costumes. If you can't buy another costume because you don't have enough credit, GE, all right, just prestige your hero once more, get a free costume. All right, do it. And the 5th point is invest in Omega points. I think for 516 points you can get a fair bit of Omega points to help you cover the defense part of it, and I think it's totally worth it, because at the end of the day, you can free up all those like defense and adjust on your gear later. If you feel that you're more comfortable, always adjust it back later. Then the 6th tips is the enchant your health. What I mean by that is that, well, I don't re-enchant health because I find that Loki is too much health. I need the money because I keep swapping blessing. But you can enchant plus 200 health from the enchanter here. All right. So here is where you enchant and get the kettle here. All right. So it gives you 200 health for slot 2, 3, 4. So it's 600 health. All right. So that is good stuff. and also pick a med core that give you the regenerate health as you use 25% of it. All right, that's very helpful. Number 7, that was number 6. Number 7 is that do the story mode, get 375 health from there, free of charge. All right. Number 8 is that change your build. All right, have dual spec. So like for instance, I don't really have a dual spec for Loki because yeah. No, actually, I do have a dual spec for Loki, but I'm not really using it. But yeah, I mean, change a build, all right? Experiment a build that help you to survive much better, help you to also deal range damage as you even if you're playing melee, allow you to do damage over range. And still contribute quite a fair bit. You have to make your own judgmental call. Because there's so many heroes, I can't really cover everything. But some example like Hulk, you can have some range each kind of power to get you out from the heat of battle, but continue to apply pressure onto the bosses and so on. Those are very useful. Change your build, right? Dual spec the build and so on. I think that's all I would like to cover, and I would like to thank you all for watching, and I'd like to thank my wife too, and demonstrating as Hulk, and there's still hope as a melee when it comes to playing. And that's my wife in her Christmas costume, and she does have another costume. Not sure whether she can just put it on for us and just maybe yeah, she does have another costume that she enjoy a lot better. But yeah, so that is that's the other costume that I think she got it from one of the gift box, so that's wonderful. So that's all. Any question you have on this game and on Cosmic Petrol, please drop me a note there, and I'm more than happy to help you out here. All right, bye.